Today I received this message on YouTube from a kid who says, "I'm just finished high school about a month ago and I got really good grades. Good enough to join med school and become a surgeon since my parents always wanted me to become one. They got pretty angry when I said I wanted to study physics and told me it was a waste of time and that I'm gonna end up without a job. I've always thought that physics is more fun, but felt that I should probably do as my parents tell me and study medicine. But thanks to you and your awesome videos, I decided that physics is way cooler, and so I applied for engineering physics at a university without telling my parents. And guess what? They accepted me. I eventually told mom and dad, and they said they were disappointed in me and told me that they only want the best for me. But now I look forward to probably the hardest course at this university. Thank you for helping me choose what felt right." Wow, that is an incredible message, and I'm really glad that I've inspired you and that I've shown you some amazing physics and, influenced what you're gonna do with your life. That is very exciting. But at the same time, I can't help feel slightly responsible. I mean, I imagine tons of things have influenced your choice, but if I have pushed you in the direction of physics and then physics doesn't turn out to be fun for you, then, you're gonna blame me for the rest of your life. So I thought I would share with you a little story about what happened to me when I was finishing high school. I think our stories have certain similarities. Like, when I finished high school, I got some pretty good grades, and in fact I got a full scholarship to go to Queen's University and study engineering physics. And that was awesome, except I didn't really know if I wanted to do engineering and physics for my career. I always loved creative enterprises, like being in theater productions or making little films or being involved in skits, acting. I think I wanted to be more creative, and I wasn't sure about just studying science. Science is awesome, don't get me wrong. You can tell I am passionate about everything science. There's so much in this world that is interesting, and a lot of it I want to know how it really works, so science is the way that we should look at it. My point is, I didn't really know if engineering was for me. And at the time, my dad wasn't in the country, so I wrote him an email and I said, maybe I should take a year off and, get into some theater and film and just see what happens. The last thing that you want is for your life to go down the wrong track. But that was a bit of a shock to him, as I can imagine, because I had been a long-time academic student with very good grades and great prospects. And so he wrote me this email back which said effectively, no, you will not take a year off, you will go and do this degree. So what did I do? I wrote him an email back that said I would not live my life by parental decree, that it was my life and I got to make the choices now. But that is not how things ended up. Now in the resulting email back and forth exchange, I ended up agreeing that sure, I would go to university and try it out. And they said if you want to quit, you can. But the thing is, I've never quit anything, and I wasn't about to quit that. And I said, you guys know how I am. I'm just gonna go, and I'm gonna slog through it for 4 years. And in a way, I treated it a bit like a prison sentence or like a summer camp. I was just there, sort of going through the motions, jumping hoops, and eventually I got out in 4 years. And at that point, I said to my dad I wanted to move to Australia, and he gave me a plane ticket and $5,000 and said, go to. So why did I do it? Why did I cave to my parents' wishes? I think partly I wanted to make them happy, but also partly I was suffering from self-doubt. The thing about doing a degree in engineering and physics is that it seems to me like a more sound proposition for getting a job. It's interesting that's come up for you as well, but it is really important in life to, of course, have a job and be able to support yourself. And I worry about filmmakers, a lot of them barely make a living, and some of the ones who make a lot of money are the ones who just do commercials or things that are really depressing to work on, that aren't really creative. And if I ask myself the question, would I rather be sort of a scientist working in any kind of field or, a filmmaker who's just struggling to get by, I would rather be the scientist 100 times out of 100, you know what I mean? So for me, it was really important to have that kind of job security, so I guess a little bit I was working on my plan B first. So I'm really proud of you for making that decision and just going with your gut, even if it's against what your parents want for you. I still think, for the record, that engineering physics is a fairly solid profession. I don't think you'll have a problem getting a job. But you know what? Life always sort of takes you in a direction that you don't expect. I went down to Sydney when I was 21, and I was going to go into film school immediately. But it's really hard to get into film school down there, and that's how I ended up getting into a PhD at the University of Sydney in physics technically, but in designing films that teach physics because I was trying to merge these passions together. I mean, it's really hard to really do what you love, and I love science and I love filmmaking, and here I am. You know, parents do want the best for us. I know yours do. They probably just want you to be happy. But I hope they realize that doing what you love and studying physics will make you happy, and so they should be supportive in that. And I'm just really excited for all of the things you're going to encounter in your physics degree, because I think it's going to be mind-blowing in the best kind of way. Can I finish by saying that the future is not monolithic? In the words of John Green, you don't have some giant sort of never-ending fixed the future which goes on and is basically unitary in its description. Our futures are all going to be a big mix, and we're going to pick out the things that we want to put into that mix. So for me, it was physics and film and acting and singing sometimes. And for you, it's going to be physics, engineering, math, and maybe surgery in some way. Who knows? You never know which way the future is going to take you. But as long as you keep doing what your gut says, I think you're going to be just fine. I'm actually going to link to John Green's video here because it is just brilliant. So if you're considering what to do with your future, check it out. It's the best video on this ever. I'm serious. Click it. Arm's getting tired. Behind me we have beautiful Vancouver.